Listen, I've been in the cybersecurity space for about 20 years, and it seems like every year we're seeing a rise in these attacks. Everybody's getting in on the game. Used to be bank vaults robbed 20 years ago physically, but nowadays you have organized crimes, nation states, hackers, and criminals using cyber and the internet as a way of attacking. So unfortunately, this is the game right now in terms of the way attacks happen. You no longer hear about people robbing bank vaults, but you're hearing about this every day. And I don't think it's going to change given the geopolitical environment, but also given the ease with which criminals are able to monetize this. So it's going to be another active year in 2025.
But do you think there's growing awareness within governments about the risk? Are they actually doing enough to be prepared in case of potential hacks?
Yeah, I think there's obviously this whole topic has gone from a topic for geeks to a topic for the boardroom and for governments over the last 5 years, and so that has for sure reached the boardroom and reached the awareness. I think what we're seeing is there's been a lot of time spent on investing in technical layers of security and not enough in what we're calling the human risk element in securing the final vulnerability, which is the actual users with hands on keyboard and on the mouse that can make mistakes or have malicious activity. So that's what we're spending a lot of time with our clients, is on really thinking about that human risk piece, because we've done a lot of investments in the technical aspect, the technical stack, and securing the network and the endpoint and the servers and the data. But how do we think about securing the humans at the end of all of that could still make a mistake or have malicious intent?
Interesting. I would like to understand where the threat is the biggest, really, because in your trends for 2025, you do highlight how cybersecurity will be increasingly weaponized by nations. Where is that more likely to happen?
I think in terms of the areas that you're going to see the attack is right around the areas where you read the headlines that you report every day, where you see tension between countries, where you see outspoken statements from politicians, where you see criminal organizations active. That's where you're going to see the attacks happening. Again, they've gone from used to be physical to now virtual attacks using cyber. So I think you're going to see it along the same fault lines that you read about in the news, and a lot of them you don't frankly read about, right? A lot of these are not reported until much later.
I guess it also depends on the scale of it, to be honest. But if we think about how these threats, how these events could actually look like, and of course we had the example from the United States recently, just explain to us how is the hacking most likely to happen?
Yeah, I mean, I think the techniques vary and get very technical. Obviously, we've gone from a world where hackers are applying malware techniques, they're applying ransomware techniques, right? Those are two different techniques. And so you can look at the techniques that they use and trying to infiltrate through putting bad software in, or trying to compromise, again, a human being at the end, trying to take someone's identity and then repurpose that for the use of breach, trying to compromise an actual user, trying to get someone to make a mistake. So it is a slew of actions that they will throw at an organization to try and get a keyhold into that organization, to try and get one user to make a mistake, one user to click on something in an email. We're looking at 1.7 billion emails a day that we secure here at Mimecast, and people only need to make one mistake on that, and then they have access. And then from there, they may compromise an identity, start moving laterally. It could take weeks or months before all of a sudden then the exfiltration happens, or in the case of ransomware, systems just shut down unless you pay a ransom. So these are the types of techniques that they're using. Often, again, it's the human that they're trying to reach, the user at the treasury or at a company like ours, to try and compromise them.